It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
NBA regular season opener for a couple of teams. Thank you all for tuning in. So happy you're here. I'm ecstatic that you're here.
And I miss you too, Ernie.
And I'm really happy that Kenny and Shaq are here, too.
I miss you too, Ernie.
Thank you. Me too. And it is Raptor basketball tonight as the Toronto Raptors go up against the Brooklyn Nets in their house, Barclays Center. Looking at the Nets, they are hungry for a win here. Last season, they got swept by this team. 4 straight losses, something they haven't forgotten. After a brisk offseason, it's finally upon us, fellas.
What's that?
Opening night.
Oh, tonight's opening night?
Hey,
oh, those are preseason games.
Shaq, your thoughts on how important it is for a team to get off to a fast start?
Well, early wins gives you confidence.
Oh, do they ever?
Makes you more intimidating to play against.
Does it ever?
I'm so excited. I miss you guys this summer.
Oh, I know. What have you been doing?
I'm happy to be here. I went to China about 59 times.
Yeah.
I went to Cancun 72 times.
Uh-huh.
And I went to the North Pole twice.
Oh, wow.
Wow, how's
so
that?
A pretty uneventful summer for you.
It was bad. I was looking for Santa. I couldn't find him.
Okay, well, you're not supposed to. The fans, the local media, everyone is excited. And I just am excited to be here, start of the season, and you don't want to start slow. You don't want to have any rough patches early on.
What'd you do this summer?
I went fishing.
Did you really?
Yes, I did.
Catch anything?
Yes, I did. I went to Dubai and went deep sea fishing.
Wow, awesome. So you were traveling all over the place? You go deep sea fishing?
What'd you do?
I cut the grass. It was awesome. Oh, that wraps it up. Let's go courtside.
2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
Let's see the starting lineup for the visiting Toronto Raptors. At shooting guard, Norman Powell. At power forward, Serge Ibaka. At center, Jonas Valanciunas. At the other guard position, Kyle Lowry. At the other guard position, DeMar DeRozan. The head coach of the visiting team is Toronto Raptors. Let's be told, Brooklyn Nets. At center, at 7.7 inches, number 20, Timothy Mozgov. At the small forward position, standing 6'8", number 9, DeMar Carroll. Starting at shooting guard, at 6'6" number 33, Allen Brown. At the other forward position, 6 feet 7 inches, number 24, Rodney Hollis-Jefferson. At the other guard position, standing 6'5", number 1, D'Angelo Russell. The head coach of your home team. Ladies and gentlemen, your Brooklyn Nets.
Kevin Harlan here, and I'm joined by Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sidelines. how long into a season do you wait until win-loss counts really start to matter?
I don't know if you can put a specific timeline on it, Kevin, but I think you kind of look at the season in maybe 10-day windows or 5-game windows, maybe a month window. It varies from coach to coach. For me personally, I would try to look at things in 10-day to 2-week windows and then evaluate from that standpoint.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's check out who's on the floor, courtesy of Gatorade. Setting the floor for the Raptors. The talented Lowry and DeRozan pair in the backcourt. Ibaka is the 4 and Valanciunas in the middle. And it's Powell in at the 3, the small forward. A three-pointer is right on target.
Boy, watching Ibaka, he possesses good form and just solid range on his shot. And just enough wiggle room to get off his shot.
Yeah, I like the quick release, Greg. He does a nice job getting it up quickly, especially when he's facing a bigger defender.
So close to getting the steal there, but the deflection equally as effective.
Yeah, refusing to give up anything easy. Solid defense, and I like that attitude.
Powell kicks to Lowry. Here's Valanciunas, and sticking right with it, gets the foul with the bucket, and he'll go to the line.
And he's pretty relentless inside. Valanciunas gets after it down low. It might not always look pretty, but he makes the most of his chances in the paint.
Carroll. And yep, finally drops after rolling around the rim. First quarter of play, 1 minute played. Here's Toronto now.
And well, they swept the season series against them last year, making it pretty clear how much separation exists between the two teams.
Yeah, Greg, I mean, one is a playoff team. The other, question mark, ... not so much. But things change, and you're only as good as your last win, so we'll see how they handle things tonight.
Lowry with the ball. He's picked up by Russell. Shots good by Ibaka.
Lights out here, right out of the gate. Perfect.
Look at that.
Oh, my goodness. Watch out. Not many players in the league can play at that elevation. I mean, Hollis Jefferson putting on the show. A high wire act.
That unleashed chaos Under Armour replay really giving us a good look at the action. And so it looks like the Raptors will retain possession here. Lowry kicks to Powell. They double him with Russell. Powell dishes to Valanciunas. Now the pass to Ibaka. That's in, and he's now 3 for 3 and looking sharp.
And the lean frame of Ibaka taking the punishment, but still converting the basket. Toughness.
Mozgov with the bucket. And here's Lowry. Feeds it to Powell. And Mozgov comes to help, and out of bounds as Brooklyn gains possession. Here is the 2K leaderboard with the list of last season's top three-point shooters. And you look at Crabbe, second in the league, extremely accurate from beyond the arc.
The bucket must have looked 3 feet wide to him last year. I mean, very deserving in terms of that spot among the league leaders from 3.
Here's DeRozan after D'Angelo Russell's bucket. Shoots off the screen, and Ibaka is right there. Ibaka's got 9.
Offensively, it's been a perfect quarter for him. He hasn't missed a single shot.
Russell with the bucket.
I thought the defender played that one pretty well, but Russell with that quick trigger release like a staple gun.
And Serge Ibaka, remember, it was a first-team all-defense selection. But over time, I think he's become more of a scoring-minded player, and I think that's affected his impact defensively.
And Toronto has possession following the bucket by the Nets. Passes it to Powell. They double him with Russell. Back to Lowry. That's tipped. And here's the fast break. Russell leading the way. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2.
Attacking on the drive, and that's going to give Russell some free throws this time.
And guys, what do you think about the offensive approach we've seen so far for the Nets?
Fellas, they're passing the ball the way you're supposed to here in this first half.
They've gotten their fair share of points off turnovers so far tonight, too.
Now, here's Lowry. No scoring yet from him, but that's likely to change to stop the run. Gets it to go from beyond the arc.
And they can't allow him too many open looks like that. That's just inviting trouble.
Carroll with the three. DeMar DeRozan grabs the board. The Raptors have gone 7 of 8 from the field to start the game. Very hot shooting. Powell for three. Good. And it's DeRozan picking up the assists. Powell's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game.
For the explosiveness and ball handling of Hollis Jefferson on display there.
Now Lowry. The feed now to Ibaka. Excellent D there from Mozgov.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be, because he is so strong in the paint.
And a lot of scoring here early on. This is the type of game the fans love to see.
Tell you what, Greg, it's getting to the point where you assume every shot is going to go down. I mean, nobody's missing out there. I think he's going to have to be more cautious on defense. He can't afford to pick up a third foul here in the first quarter.
And they double up DeRozan. Ibaka with the screen on Mozgov. And DeRozan kicks to Powell. Toronto working the ball around now. Shots good by Ibaka.
Yeah, high percentage look there for Ibaka. He can be automatic in there when given room.
Hollis Jefferson can't hit. Toronto's gone 3 of 3 from deep. 9 points rung up from outside here in the first. Ibaka outside. On the wing, DeRozan. He's guarded by Cram. Screened by Valanciunas. Clock at 6. They get a hand on it. And they're pushing it up.
Defense turning into offense. Hollis Jefferson doing what he does best.
Raptors trail by 3. Powell with it. Lowry passes to Valanciunas. Here's Powell, and it's blocked. And here we go. Brooklyn fast break. Here's Russell. Drains the jumper to finish the break. Russell's got 11.
He's been turned up this quarter, showing a lot of confidence and sinking a lot of his shots.
Oh, yes, he did. 5 up and 5 down for him so far.
Pretty much all of their buckets coming from inside the paint now. And in today's game, we're really so used to thinking of passing as the key to an efficient offense. But this Raptors club, they do it a different way. For them, that screen is the assist, giving their guards space to pull up or attack the rim.
Just 4 to shoot. Here's DeRozan. And here's the fast break. Carroll leading the way. That one falls. He's got 6.
They've wasted no time settling into their offense.
Yeah, they're lasered in. I mean, really making the most of their possession.
So, timeout called here, the first for Toronto. And the Raptors for the last few seasons, Greg, right at the bottom of the league in assists.
Yeah, but nevertheless, they do make good decisions. They're a low turnover team, and they've been pretty efficient offensively. One area where you can offset that is by their ability to get to the free throw line, because that puts a lot of pressure on your defense with their ability to attack.
Group in for the Nets. Booker, he's checked in for Hollis Jefferson. Harris comes in for DeMar Carroll. LeVert's checked in for Cram. And it's Jeremy Lin in for D'Angelo Russell. A new group in now for the Raptors. Nogueira, he's checked in for Jonas Valanciunas. CJ Miles comes in for Serge Ibaka. Anunoby, he's checked in for Norman Powell. And it's DeLon Wright in for Kyle Lowry.
Yeah, they're relying on their three-point shooting and getting pretty good results.
Here's Booker. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot 2.
And Trevor Booker is generously listed at 6'8". We call that a program height. But he is a quick leaper, so he plays bigger than he is. You let him get in close, and he'll punch that ticket on you.
Clark, as good as Booker is around the rim, he's looking to stretch his range out beyond the arc.
And that's a wise move for him as a player. Expand your range because you've shown you can make that shot, and I think that just makes him more valuable on offense.
Yeah, and there it is again. On a lot of their possessions this first half, they've established great inside position.
Outside DeRozan. Pass to Nogueira. Mozgov with the steal. One-on-one here. And Mozgov throws it down.
The long strides of Mozgov. Once he gets churning and moving, he can really beat you down the floor.
Raptors trail by 7. Pass to Anunoby. And Mozgov comes to help. Here's Nogueira. And stolen by Booker. Here's LeVert. Good. And a nice assist from Booker.
Textbook. Nice pass. Great catch. Even better finish.
Toronto's got a perfect 4 of 4 from beyond the arc. A lot of their points coming by way of the 3 in the first quarter. Miles against Booker. And DeRozan kicks to right. A three-pointer, no good.
I'm shocked that didn't turn into 3 points. I mean, he makes you pay on those nearly every time.
Harris misses.
That's not the type of opportunity he fails to convert very often.
They get a hand on it. Oh, and a fast break for the Nets. And slam dunk by Harris.
Methodical in their approach. They have absolutely owned this first quarter.
And I tell you what, Greg, they've worked hard for this lead. Their play calling has been superb, and the execution even better.
It's 9 seconds separating the shot clock and game clock. The pass to Anunoby. He feeds it to DeRozan. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. That one on Mozgov.
Boy, DeRozan is a treat to watch. This guy is athletic, and he throws down some monster dunks. This dude is sick at the rim.
Both free throws good from DeRozan.
Textbook shooting from the stripe. Great form, soft release, mark it up.
Yep, that one goes in there.
And already with the commanding lead, a terrific offensive performance.
Yeah, and the execution, time and time again, right on point. They're running their offense to perfection.
This is his second trip to the line in this one. The first free throw is good. Both free throws good from DeRozan. Here's Lynn. Over right. Got it off in time, but it's no good. D'Angelo Russell getting it done for the Brooklyn Nets. Setting up teammates and getting buckets. He is looking as determined as ever. And don't go away. We'll be right back. And Serge Ibaka, becoming known for his shooting ability now, he talked about the confidence his teammates and his coach instilled in him.
He trusts you. Every time he passes the ball, when you don't shoot, he's screaming you, shoot ball. Then next time what? You will shoot. And if you miss, you say, yeah, good shot. You know, and your coaches in the practice talking to your teammates. Man, when Serge is open, give him the ball. He will make that shot.
Well, if you wonder how much difference a coach can make for a player, there it is, huh?
You heard it in Serge's voice, too. That confidence has already been planted in him. That voice telling him, shoot the ball, is now in his own head. He's going to be just fine.
Well, not exactly a close game so far, but as the second quarter starts here, plenty of time for a comeback. And from Brooklyn guys, what jumps out to you stat-wise?
Getting high percentage looks, wearing down that defense on the inside.
Grinding away down low, man, just filing them down. Love the bully ball method. Paying off well.
So on the floor for Toronto to start this second quarter. Joseph runs the point with DeRozan on his side. They're the backcourt. C.J. Miles is out there with Anunoby, and it's Nogueira in at the center position. Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
Well, guys, Raptors coach Dwayne Casey talked about the chemistry on his team. He said, "We couldn't be better. There's no ego, no hidden agendas. Guys understand their roles." Kyle Lowry told me, "We're a complete team, 15 deep, and we really mean that. You never know whose time it's going to be." Kevin?
And DA depth is a crucial part of any team's success. Knowing you can rely on your teammates to step up is huge. Count it. Miles has got his second basket. And Clark, you've seen so many college and NBA games. What skill or mindset do you see as the best predictor for when a college player is going to be an NBA star?
Well, it's hard to predict stardom, but clearly things that transfer from a skill standpoint from college to the NBA, at least historically, have been the ability to rebound at a high point.
Oh!
Hey! Ooh, wow! Mozgov, excellent body control, takes the hit, finishes right through it.
Raptors trail by 3. And there's a whistle. That's going to go on Timothy Mozgov. That'll be his second foul of the game.
Another foul would give him 3 before the half. Something to keep an eye on, guys.
Dinwiddie's checked in for Brooklyn. Here's Anunoby. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. Here's LeVert. Hammers it home to polish off the break.
And LeVert knows exactly where to go in transition. Incredibly quick in the open floor.
And here in the second, 2 minutes gone by. Now here's Wright. D right on him. Got a piece of it. Nogueira kicks to Wright. Here's Anunoby. That shot off. Good D by Booker. That one falls coming off Dinwiddie's feet. And now a 7-point Brooklyn lead.
And, you know, when you let Booker get free inside, Kevin, he finishes now. He's a big, burly presence in the paint who handles his business in there.
Pass to Anunoby. And Mozgov comes to help. Just 5 on the clock. And that one's good. Right.
Yeah, that's 2 straight 3-pointers they've allowed.
Leans from outside, and it's LeVert missing.
Not really necessary with nobody on you. I mean, why put yourself off balance on that shot when you're wide open?
Brooklyn making some changes. Rondae Hollis-Jefferson comes in for Mozgov, and it's Whitehead in for LeVert. Powell, he's checked in for Toronto. Wright banked in off the glass. Wright's got 14 points.
And really the scoring this quarter has been just off the charts, doing all he can to bring them back. You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
And he gets it to go.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks. Just tentative in the paint, lacking a little bit of confidence, allowed the defender to recover and contest that shot.
And the wide open shot from Miles. And the Raptors hit again from deep.
Yeah, great outside shooting, really fueling this run.
Took him no time at all on that one.
Yeah, I love the communication and the chemistry between those teammates.
Wright dishes to Powell. Now here's Miles. He's covered closely. Powell kicks to Wright. Back to Powell. Fires the 3. And again, Toronto with the triple.
Having a lot of trouble stopping the 3-point shot.
And they're not making up for it with their own shots from deep either, so that's a double-edged sword there.
And talk about putting some extra on it. That dunk was way over the top.
Close game or not, he's going to finish firm when he gets the space.
Well, I tell you what, guys, the young kids like to say, that's doing too much. That falls into that category. That was too much.
And that's Coach Kenny Atkinson before taking over in Brooklyn, a key assistant in Atlanta under Coach Mike Budenholzer.
Yeah, and you talk about the Spurs coaching tree. There are a lot of good branches on that tree, boy. Budenholzer spent almost 2 decades in San Antonio. Now his assistant in Atlanta, Kenny Atkinson, is the head coach in Brooklyn.
Dishes to Miles. Good ball movement here by the Raptors. There's a good screen. A step-back shot here. And off the front iron, and in it goes. Powell's got 5 points now in the quarter.
And you can tell the defender not anticipating the step back. He was headed in the opposite direction.
And Wright kicks to Nogueira. The dish to Powell. To the inside. And out of bounds as the Nets gain possession. And we'll examine here how the distribution has been between three-pointers and two-pointers tonight for the Raptors.
Liking the effectiveness they've shown here from three-point land. And I say, hey, shoot it more. They've been successful with a high field goal percentage, and we'll see if that continues to be a part of their arsenal.
The Nets making a switch here. Rabs checked in. A nice shot by Booker.
Super muscle there from Booker, outworking the defense and being rewarded for those efforts.
Down low. And the dunk by Valanciunas.
And guys, right now, the defense mentally not there. Can't afford too many of those in a close game like this.
Yeah, Jay, you're right. Almost a free run for him there.
Momentum can swing on plays like that, Kevin, especially when the finish has that much thunder on it.
And the dunk by Valanciunas.
Kevin, it's nice to see Lowry dish the rock. I mean, I enjoy watching him pass the ball because he's got a nice feel for when to get it to his guys for an open shot.
Fundamentals, guys, using the one-hand slam.
Well, he makes the basics look pretty exceptional.
And, Kevin, I'd suggest that he stay with those basics because we've got a tight one here tonight.
Kicks it to Valanciunas. And counted, and a chance for one more at the free throw line.
And started hot, and he's only gotten hotter.
Damari Carroll's checked in for the Nets. D'Angelo Russell comes in for Spencer Dinwiddie. And Valanciunas out of Lithuania, the 5th overall pick back in 2011.
Yeah, he's still quite young. A lot of talent offensively. Defensively, he's probably had less of an impact, but that's where he has to take the next step.
And the shot goes down. Valanciunas has got the lead up to 4 now for Toronto. And a closer look here at the hustle stats for Toronto.
Well, in the first half of play, they're closing out aggressively, blocking shots, a key indicator of their activity on the defensive side.
Something else they've done right so far from the get-go tonight is run. I mean, so much of their offense has come off the fast break.
And 2 shots coming up at the line as he gets fouled on the shot. And there's the foul. It's called on Toronto. Brooklyn shooting their 5th and 6 free throws of the game.
And look back a season ago. They did a solid job at the line, about 79% of their free throws.
Jeremy Lin, he's checked in for Whitehead. You always say it, Clark, so much of the game is played inside your mind, between the ears, in your head. Which players jump out to you as being some of the smartest players on the floor?
Kevin, there are so many guys that fall into that category. LeBron James is at the top of the list for me because of how he impacts the game in so many ways at both ends of the floor, and his size and athleticism make him unique. Chris Paul, another guy who has great awareness on the court.
And for D'Angelo Russell, the offensive talent is obvious. But it seems his defense, Clark, has a ways to go.
Well, he's got the package now. He's got good size. He's not a great athlete. He's a good athlete, but not an explosive, powerful athlete. I think he's got to get stronger. And the other pieces, he's got to really be about the mental aspect, the focus, and the consistent effort day in and day out to maximize his physical gift.
And Valanciunas kicks to Powell. And another basket for Toronto.
And really keeping the ball hopping around here offensively.
The last 5 trips they've had have ended with a great pass leading to a basket. They're really sharing the sugar.
And, guys, they continue to put a lot of pressure on the interior defenders with their work down low.
In the corner, Miles with it. Back to Lowry. Fires for 3. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by Valanciunas.
Looking now at the numbers for Lin. Last year, getting it done. Last year averaged 14 points per game, 5 assists, and 3 rebounds. And some pretty good numbers, guys. He's certainly making a contribution.
Better than expected. He still has a ways to go, and I like what I'm seeing right now.
Mozgov, he's checked in for the Nets. To the middle. DeRozan, that's good. DeRozan's got 8 points.
And the crisp passing has opened things up for them offensively.
10 straight points off assists. That's very impressive, and it also makes the game easy and fun to watch.
Guys, what a tight start to the game this has been.
And it's still in the first half. This could be a wild one.
The Raptors have shot 5 of 6 at the foul line tonight. And he makes the first.
And they haven't let points get away from them at the line tonight. That's always something that'll allow a coaching staff to breathe a little easier.
The Nets making a switch here. Harris is checked in.
Boy, he shows a lot of desire when he's fighting for that tough board. And his length doesn't hurt either.
Powell for 3. Rebounded by the Nets. Mozgov's got 3 rebounds now in this one. The shot by Carroll, no good.
Yeah, good interior D there prevents the deuce.
And, you know, that's not easy at all. When guys get this close to the bucket, it's tough to stop the basket.
Tie game in Brooklyn. And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thanks very much. Coach, it's early in the season, so what can you say about how things are going chemistry-wise so far?
I love our guys. We have a great group of young men that are competing hard, and it feels good because I know our guys are totally engaged and focused and giving us what they have.
Dwayne, thanks a lot. Back to you.
Thanks for the great interview, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of basketball following halftime.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Ernie Johnson here with Shaq and Kenny, and a favorite time of the year as we're halfway through one of the first games of this fresh NBA season. Looking at the Nets, and from what we saw so far from the Nets, Kenny, what's your takeaway?
Well, I like that they're aggressively going to the rack. That establishes an attitude, a certain toughness. They just need to stay committed to their game plan.
Shaq, let's get your insight on Toronto.
They ran their offense very well in the first half. There were almost no forced shots. It was good, smart basketball. The motion in their offense was terrific. They made those defenders work very hard. I like what I saw from them for the most part.
And that wraps up the halftime show. Third quarter set to begin in just a few.
Welcome back as we get a beautiful aerial view of the Williamsburg Bridge connecting Manhattan and Brooklyn. Welcome back, everyone. The second half about to get underway, and it's been a close one so far. It's been a clinic out there with D'Angelo Russell.
And through the first 2 periods, it seemed he got to the paint whenever he wanted to, just a slasher's mentality.
Yeah, you know, good things happen when he cuts to the rim, Greg, and you cut into the heart of the defense like that, makes things easy.
Now here's DeRozan. Allen Crabbe out there with Russell. Then it's Mozgov. Then it's Damari Carroll. And it's Hollis Jefferson in at the 4. That's the group starting the second half for Kenny Atkinson. There's the pick. 6 to shoot. And Serge Ibaka, the bucket on the assist by Lowry. Lowry's got his 7th assist here tonight.
No, he didn't. Did he just break out the finger roll? That's nice.
And there's the call on Kyle Lowry. That is his first foul of the game. Mozgov, and the rejection by Valanciunas. Raptors with the lead. And the Nets offense, Clark, looking to play up tempo. First in the league last season in possessions per game.
Yeah, and really trying to exploit and take advantage of their youth. Following the Spurs model, spreading the minutes out, trying to use more guys. I think it helps them play at that pace when you can utilize more players.
And the basket by Lowry.
Always got to patrol the three-point line. When you don't, you suffer the consequences.
It's good. Look at that basket. He's now 5 for 9.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now, especially on the interior.
Yeah, and that's 4 straight field goals now, Greg, they've allowed from point-blank range. Can't happen.
And that's the shot you want to create. They just can't get it to fall.
That's what I call an everything but. Good execution, just didn't knock it down. But you're right, they're happy with that shot.
Clark, in your rookie season in the NBA, did you ever have a welcome to the NBA moment? A play or a sequence where you were brutally introduced to how unforgiving the NBA can truly be?
Yeah, how about my first night out? Spencer Haywood ran me in circles, and I shot 2 for 17, scored 6 or 8 points, and he was in my head from the very beginning. Thankfully, the Pacers won that game because it was a forgettable night other than that. But Spencer Haywood, even to this day, when I bump into him, reminds me of how he disrupted me and distracted me in that first game of my rookie season.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, it may not be the era of the center in the NBA, but Jonas Valanciunas has something to say about that. He said, "I try to make sure they don't forget about centers. I'll keep reminding them. The league is full of guys that can do different things, but I still think you need a center that can rebound the ball and score in the low post." I agree. Kevin?
Well, the centers are still important, David. Good to see Valanciunas making his presence felt in the paint.
He's fairly well coordinated for a big guy. Mozgov able to put it on the floor and get it to the rim.
Raptors leading by 4. And that's out of bounds. Toronto will retain possession. And a moment here to look at where the shots have been coming from for the Nets.
And everything he's touched has turned to gold. If you are on defense, you have to make sure all 5 players know exactly where he is at all times, because if he gets a sliver of a look, he'll get it done.
LeVert's checked in for DeMarre Carroll. And out of bounds as Brooklyn gains possession.
And let's take a look at Kyle Lowry's numbers. Last season, he played outstanding. 10th in assists, and with that effortless stroke, he climbed all the way to the top 15 in three-point percentage.
And his floor awareness was impeccable last season. As you mentioned, top 10 in assists, just does a great job of getting everyone involved.
Getting everyone involved. Russell operating the offense like a seasoned vet.
Lowry, good.
Important points there. Got him on a nice play, getting the ball inside and right to the bucket.
From 17 feet out, that one a tad offline to the right, but drops in for him.
In the mid-range, rarely the hallmark of efficiency in today's NBA, but it is on point tonight.
It sure is, Greg. It might be the strongest aspect of their offense here.
The score now all even. And that's now 18 points for D'Angelo Russell.
Yes, filling it up. Russell now shooting past his typical scoring pace.
And D'Angelo Russell picks up the foul. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far. So it's both teams making substitutions here. Little under 2.5 minutes off the clock now here in the 3rd. Here's the break. Here's Mozgov. And Mozgov throws it down.
Yeah, the understated athleticism of Mozgov. When his knee is feeling okay, he gets off his feet pretty quickly.
Toronto's gone 2 of 2 from long range in the 3rd quarter so far. Lowry drawing the double team. And Ibaka kicks to Lum. Terrific assist, a nice finish. Solid play all around.
Terrific timing on that pass, placing it in a great spot, ideal spot where his teammate could score.
Nice pass here to set that basket up.
Toronto trailing. Ibaka outside. Back to Lowry. And Lowry gets double teamed. Nogueira passes to Anunoby. 5 on the clock. Lets it fly. And the Raptors tack on 2 more.
And so far in the second half, this has been a different kind of game than what we saw early on.
No question about it. I mean, these teams are really battling hard now.
And he's an automatic finisher when he gets into that area.
He is, and he picks the simple one-hand stuff to get the 2 points.
Hey, guys, I know I'm stating the obvious here, but those could be an important 2 points considering how close this game is.
And they pick up 2.
Yeah, the chemistry has been terrific. Really impressed with their offensive execution.
You know, the defense, Greg, has really been kept off balance because of the outstanding passes. 4 straight field goals have been made off an assist.
So for the Nets, Trevor Booker, he's checked in now for Mozgov. And it's Jeremy Lin in for Dinwiddie. Then for the Raptors, C.J. Miles. He's checked in for Anunoby. And it's DeLon Wright in for DeMar DeRozan. And he comes up with the deuce. Kilpatrick's got his 2nd basket of the game. Let's look at the energy stats, how the hustle game has been going for the Nets.
Boy, their hounding, harassing effort at the defensive end, very impressive. And they forced quite a few turnovers as a result.
Yeah, and another thing, they've created a lot of turnovers, but they've also been able to convert when they've gotten out in transition.
Well over a decade in the NBA for C.J. Miles, taken straight out of high school by the Jazz back in 2005.
And he's just now entering his 30s. A good floor spacer and solid defender at the 2 or 3 spot.
They set the screen, and there's the whistle. Illegal screen.
Oh, no, you hate to see that. Those are just the kind of errors that can cost you in a game like this.
Harris is checked in for Brooklyn. The Nets with the lead. Lynn from long range, but he gets it back. Second chance shot. And here is Wright. 16 points for him. Inside, Nogueira. And the dunk by Nogueira. And not even 3/4 out of the way. So many lead changes.
The fans, guys, are getting their money's worth. Heck, I should have paid to watch this one. It's been a nail biter.
And the awareness from Lynn, outstanding. A true point guard who really sees the floor well.
Charity stripe shot, and it's Wright sending it back.
The game has been very close in a lot of areas, but rebounding has been the one differentiator thus far.
And, Greg, we've seen it time and time again in games. Effort and determination on the glass can make up for a lot of other weaknesses.
And stolen by Booker. A nice shot by LeVert.
Guys, his consistency in terms of shooting has really helped them seize control.
There's the call on Trevor Booker. That's his first foul. The Nets making a switch here. Whitehead's checked in. Nets on defense. And Lynn comes to help. Lowry kicks to Nogueira. That's in, coming off an assist from Lowry. Lowry's got assist number 10 tonight with that last one.
Yeah, I mean, he's been orchestrating all game at a high level.
Yeah, making his teammates better through his passing. Greg, you know about that because you did it. Great job sharing the ball.
Well, I appreciate it, partner. Always important to have somebody keep rhythm in the game. Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
Really a prime example of the difference in how these teams have operated offensively. Much more individual play at the other end.
Toronto's gotten all 4 of the three-point shots to go down since halftime. They're lighting it up here. And Lowry gets double-teamed. Here's Ibaka, and Ibaka slams it in.
And this is what Ibaka supporters point to. If given the chance, he has the physical ability and skill set to do major damage on the offensive end.
1:12 left in the third. And Miles kicks to Nogueira. He dishes it to Lowry. Feeds to Nogueira. From deep, Miles. And the Raptors hit again from deep.
Miles really remarkably quick in terms of how he fires right after he gets a pass. No time to waste with him.
And if that doesn't get them fired up, guys, nothing will.
Greg, just what the doctor ordered, huh? Some high-flying antics to narrow the deficit.
Tell you what, fellas, that could give them the energy boost they've been looking for.
Here's Lynn. It's good. And now just a 3-point Toronto lead.
And the offense has just operated really smoothly here in the open floor.
Yeah, and for them to reduce the lead, they should keep the pace brisk. I mean, that's how they've generated the highest quality shots.
Yeah, how about the sharp steal and then run out? It looks like they're ready to put the hammer down.
Well, we've been waiting for one of these teams, Greg, to pull away. Maybe that'll be a springboard for it.
Could be. A dunk like that coming off a great defensive play has to build some momentum.
That's something about all these turnovers. Right away, you're at a disadvantage defensively.
And, Greg, we're seeing that here tonight. I mean, so many of their mistakes and miscues have resulted in easy baskets the other way because their defense can't get set.
And here are the Raptors now. They trail by 1. Lowry drawing the double team. And the dunk by Nogueira.
Oh, an aggressive move and fantastic finish.
Trying to send a message with that slam, I think.
That's exactly how you send it. 2 hands and down.
Outside Lowry. Misses the 3. Serge Ibaka, he's been the guy making things happen for the Toronto Raptors. His production has been flowing as he's tallied 20 points and looks to be planning for more. Right back after this break. And from the most recent huddle, let's listen in on head coach Dwayne Casey.
We all got to crack down and come in and rebound. All right? We're okay.
Flashing the boards, key to the outcome of this contest, according to Coach Dwayne Casey.
Yeah, really zeroing in on those second chance opportunities. Wanting extra shots on offense, but to only give up one on the other end.
We welcome you back to what has been a good one here as we get into the fourth quarter. So for Toronto right now, Ibaka is the 4 and Valanciunas in the middle. Norman Powell is out there with Lowry, and it's Miles in at the 3 spot. It's the Nets now. The Nets shooting extremely well, 62% on the night to this point.
And that is a major league flush right there, my friends.
And in a tight contest like this, Greg, that might be just what they need to get the tide rolling in their direction.
You're exactly right. I mean, so often when a team gets that kind of explosive play out of its backcourt, that can really rally and galvanize the whole squad.
And it's good for 2.
Really like the aggressive mentality of Miles. Every time he's touching the ball, he's looking to score.
Count that bucket. And the Nets lead by 3.
Yeah, these defenders just look a bit overmatched, especially inside.
That's tipped. And oh, here we go with Lynn. Nobody back. Drops in the breakaway layup.
Guys, this is the NBA. You keep giving the ball away, you're going to get punished.
Value the possession. Vital to winning basketball games. We all know that. And if you don't, you cripple yourself.
Here's Valanciunas.
And that's what makes Lowry a great floor leader. Just unselfish in his attitude and great awareness of how to keep his teammates involved.
Crab, no good. Raptors trail by 3. Powell kicks to Ibaka from 10 feet out. Lands soft on the front of the rim and drops. Ibaka's got 11 in the second half.
Just the height separation on that mid-range jumper. Excellent job of taking advantage. The plan of attack is obvious. Get the ball inside and go strong to the rim.
And Greg, you know, the defense has been very slow to adapt. I mean, that's 10 straight points now inside.
Finished off the break. Now it's a 5-point Nets lead.
Moving it around, 8 of their last 10 coming off assists.
And Greg, you know nothing makes a coach happier than selflessness on the basketball court.
Here's Carroll, and there's the slam dunk to finish it off.
And the mentality that we're seeing from Carroll, even a spot-up guy needs to seize those opportunities.
Raptors trail by 7. The feed to Powell. Got a piece of it. Shoots from the baseline. The rebound by Ibaka. Ibaka's got 6 rebounds now in the game. That's good for Miles on the assist from Ibaka. Miles has got 4 this quarter.
Really nice, wonderful release from Miles. Just so good at measuring up his shots.
Timeout called the Nets.
And really, whether you're up or down, it's a game of adjustments.
Always. And having a good coach is critically important. I mean, you need somebody you can count on to make the right adjustment.
DeMar DeRozan. He's checked in for C.J. Miles. And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Thanks, Kevin. Kenny Atkinson had some words for his team during the break. He still wants them to be aggressive and assertive on offense. He said, I don't want us to get content with this lead. Build on it. Don't give them any chance of getting back in this thing. Kevin?
Lowry kicks to DeRozan. Back to Lowry. From the arc. Good. And it's DeRozan picking up the assists. DeRozan's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. Mozgov wide open. He fires. And yes, it's good.
I don't know what's happening defensively, but they're not putting up any resistance.
I tell you what, it reminds me of one of my college coaches. He used to say, that ain't going to get it done. That's 5 straight baskets in the paint now.
Inside, Carroll. And there's a nice one-handed slam.
And the athleticism always been NBA caliber. Carroll showing it off there with the finish.
Now Powell. And that goes out of bounds. Last touch by Carroll. And Toronto has possession. Ibaka, no luck.
And you know what? You can't get a better screen. Frees him up beautifully, but he just fails to capitalize.
Clearly a frustrating missed opportunity there. Perfect screen, got him the space he needed, but he bricked it.
And count it. He'll head to the line with a chance to make it 3.
At times in his career, Ibaka has looked out of control when forced to finish through defenders. That time, keeps his poise and reaps the benefits.
It's Russell with the drive. Toronto grabs the miss. Ibaka's got rebound number 7 for him tonight. And DeRozan kicks to Powell. And finished off by DeRozan.
Oh, going high to throw that one down.
Sky high. Fantastic one-hand jam.
Boy, nice way to punctuate that possession.
And nobody, guys, among the defenders stepping up to challenge him on that drive to the 10.
And Greg, he says, thank you very much, and sails in for the flush.
And those are the kind of sequences that tell you why the score is what it is.
And they double up DeRozan. Down low, here's Valanciunas.
And guys on defense gasping for air at this point.
Well, I tell you what, Greg, what can they do? I mean, nobody can miss a shot. I mean, these guys are bringing it on offense right now.
Hollis Jefferson's checked in for LeVert.
You know, he's naturally a scoring point guard, is D'Angelo Russell. Fellow Buckeye, I might add, but I like the stride I've seen from him in creating for others. I mean, he can break you down, and he's a very gifted passer.
And guys got careless with the ball there, and the turnover leads to the big stuff.
Once he came up right with the steal, he went straight on the attack.
That's exactly the way to do it, too, Kevin. Go hard to the bucket, and don't let them set up the defense.
Mozgov with the steal. Oh, and a fast break for the Nets. Russell, no luck.
They've been the better rebounding team by a healthy margin, but it hasn't been enough.
Yeah, you know, they're hustling and giving a good effort, that's for sure, but unfortunately, the execution has been lacking.
Brooklyn on defense. They're leading by 8. Powell, that's good. And Russell's shooting and ball handling are a great counterbalance to his passing.
Yeah, I agree with you. In today's game, you need that scoring threat from the point guard position. He can't just be a table setter. He's got to score it, too. And recognizing when to score and when to set up, folks, that's the area that he has to grow in, and that happens with time and experience.
Now here's Powell. He's tightly guarded, and that's out of bounds. Toronto will retain possession. C.J. Miles, he's checked in for the Raptors. And here are the Raptors now. It's a 5-point game. The Raptors need to get a shot off. 2 on the clock. DeRozan's shot is good.
And good passing
setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Dime-dropping delights is what I call it.
That is a nice pass. I will give you that one.
Yeah, he was on the money, that's no doubt. Raptors trail by 5. Lowry with the ball. And Valanciunas penetrating. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
Boy, Valanciunas, a mountain of a man, a solid big guy who scores well and provides a lot of length and muscle inside.
And they've been a completely different team at the line here tonight. Maybe they're finally turning a corner when it comes to their free throw shooting.
That could be a game-turning play. I mean, Hollis Jefferson making his presence felt there.
Toronto's gone 2 for 2 from three-point land to start the fourth quarter. Pass to DeRozan. That's in, coming off an assist from Lowry. 14 points for DeMar DeRozan.
And you're starting to see some tired legs.
Look at that jam!
Come on now, bring the thunder, rock that rim.
Oh, he's putting on a show for these fans.
I can't believe he pulled that one out in the course of an actual game.
Well, when you know it, you got to show it.
He drops the first one, and that shrinks the margin to just 4.
And I like how scrappy and aggressive Lowry is on the court. And it's easy to see how much his teammates enjoy playing alongside him. That one miss was huge. He had a chance to turn this into a one-possession game.
So the first one drops, and that puts them up by 5. So he gets them both, and it's a 6-point ball game.
It's showing off a really smooth stroke there, and that will add to their lead.
A steal and out of bounds as the Raptors gain possession. Here's the 3. Bangs home the trifecta. Lowry's got 17 points here in the second half.
Hey, Kevin, when it's an important moment in the game, a big time in the game, he flat out takes over. Lowry is a gamer.
Raptors trail by 5. Right side, DeRozan. And DeRozan throws it down hard.
Oh, he got fancy with that one.
Yeah, maybe trying to give them the momentum boost they need to break this game open.
And I like it, Kevin and Greg. I mean, some coaches might want to see just a sure-handed lay-in there, but for me, I don't mind a little extra.
And Lowry gets double-teamed. Here's Miles, and he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
The former second-round pick Miles is a very dependable role player, somebody you can count on to light it up and get it going from downtown.
And Miles drops them both.
And that makes it a one-possession game, guys. Got to be the biggest free throws of the game thus far.
Crucial hoop right there. Hollis Jefferson rising to the occasion.
It's stolen by Carroll. Oh, and a fast break for the Nets. And here they go. Beautiful dish, and the layup goes down. Now it's a 7-point Brooklyn lead.
And when you can outscore your opponent in transition, that's always going to work to your advantage.
Hey, that's a big piece of the pie when you're talking about winning basketball, fast break points. I mean, because most of the time, those are easy hoops.
Toronto calls timeout. They're trailing by 7. There's 53 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. And now let's present our Jordan Player of the Game, Timothy Mozgov.
He's put on a shooting exhibition for us here tonight. He's missed a couple along the way, but it sure seems like everything's been falling for him. The only way to keep him from converting is to keep the ball out of his hands.
There's 53 seconds left in the fourth. That is good. And the Nets' lead is cut down now to just 4 in the basket from Miles. There's Hollis Jefferson. Good, and the assist goes to Russell. Hollis Jefferson's got 34.
And that is a shot that Hollis Jefferson continues to improve upon over time, and that's a good sign of things to come.
Nails it! What a beautiful shot to bring him to within 3.
And this is where Ibaka's steely demeanor serves him well. No hesitation under pressure. That's what we're talking about in terms of the activity level defensively. You got to protect the rim.
Textbook defense all around. Nice job at contesting the shot without fouling, and that's how you do it. Well done.
And an intentional foul right there. And no good as the first free throw missing for him. We'll see if he can nail the second. And he ends up missing both free throws. Toronto calls timeout. They're trailing by 5. We've got 22 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Guys, what do you think?
And they're going to have to score. Quick foul. Can't waste any time here.
Greg, one possession at a time, and really, as you said, it's all about clock management right now.
Time working against them here.
It sure is, and with such short time, it'll be really hard for them to catch up.
This one on the play. Bucket's good. He'll go to the line. A free throw drops for Ibaka.
And what's interesting about Ibaka, he's played basketball internationally ever since joining the NBA back in 2008. In fact, he won a silver medal with Spain in 2012.
No luck that time either.
Yeah, just a golden opportunity that's lost right there. Now, we still got a game.
Pass to Valanciunas. Count it! A huge shot to tie it up.
And he's really made the most of his opportunities today. I mean, he needs to keep working for those kinds of looks.
Timeout called, the Nets. Here's Crabbe. Missed. DeRozan. Oh, couldn't sink the shot, and we're going to overtime. And regulation now complete. We will go to overtime. 2K Sports back in a moment here in Brooklyn. Well, if you're just joining us, the intensity has really heated up in this one. As we watch this one go now to overtime.
Boys, nice line.
It'll be the Raptors off the tip. And so they have the first opportunity on offense right here as we begin overtime. Courtesy of Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineup for us now in overtime. So for Toronto right now, Miles and Ibaka, the small and power forwards. The talented Lowry and DeRozan pair in the backcourt. And it's Valanciunas in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. And out of bounds as the Nets gain possession. The pass to Mozgov. Shot on the wing and right on target. Good. Mozgov's got the first points here in the overtime period for Brooklyn. Toronto trailing. Ball's knocked loose. Lynn with the steal. And the layup falls.
Ripping and running. They have a big advantage now in those transition opportunities.
No expiration date on their legs. They just seem to be fresher. And they're putting those fresh legs to good use.
Here's Valanciunas. And stolen by Crabbe. Here's Carroll. The basket good off the assist from Lynn. And it's a 6-point Brooklyn lead.
And defensively, they are on their heels every time the ball comes inside.
Yeah, I think they've got to ramp up the aggressiveness, Greg. I mean, if they don't, things are just going to get worse from here.
He got an advantage there off the pick and took it right in. Valanciunas has got 21.
Great job of screening there. Nice job to take it to the rim and get the finish.
Outside DeRozan. Ibaka dishes to Lowry. Ibaka with the screen on Lynn. Lowry passes to Ibaka. He kicks it to Valanciunas, and it's blocked. Now here's Cram. DeRozan defending. Basket is good, and he'll get a chance for one more at the free throw line.
And Lynn is superb at passing the rock. Always wanting to get his guys involved. Excellent vision and really good decision making.
Powell, he's checked in for Toronto. Mozgov with the steal. In transition, here come the Nets. And Mozgov throws it down.
What an offensive outburst tonight from an unlikely source, Timofey Mozgov.
Outside DeRozan. Over Crabbe. It'll go, and the Nets lead is cut down now to just 7 on the basket from DeRozan.
And scoring the ball comes easily and naturally to him. He's a versatile player at the offensive end. Boy, what a slick job of passing from Jeremy Lin on that one.
Lowry with the ball, and it's Lin picking him up. Shot's good by Ibaka.
All that practice on the positioning and timing of the catch and shoot paying huge dividends for Ibaka.
Hollis Jefferson, good.
And he found the soft spot in the D on that possession.
Here's Lowry. Just under 2.5 minutes passed here in this overtime. Here's DeRozan. And the whistle blows, so a chance here for a three-point play.
Oh, man. DeRozan, his interior game, worthy of much respect. When he gets the ball in a good spot, he goes to work.
Nets leading by 5. Shot from 16. Another one falls for Brooklyn.
He's just able to shoot over people at a high rate.
And you were a good defender, Greg, so you tell me, how do you guard that? I mean, the height, the soft release, not a lot you can do against that combination.
Yeah, that's a bad move there. Stops the clock and puts the other side on the line.
Yeah, inexcusable. I mean, he's got to know not to take any chances there. That's just a terrible foul.
Nice work there. This is a point in the game where if you get a chance to close the gap, you've got to make the most of it. And at a certain point, there's just nothing more you can do.
This is it. This one's over, folks. Too little, too late.
Hollis Jefferson, he dents the rim with a two-handed slam. Wow.
He is out there for his defense. But as quiet as it's kept, Hollis Jefferson making an impact with his scoring, too.
A wide open look here for Ibaka. Off target from outside.
And on an open look like that, he's very gifted at making the weak coverage pay. And it looks like just playing the last bit of this one out in what should be a nice win here for Brooklyn.
And I guess they waited for overtime to break out the big guns. It's not even close in this extra period.
And funny that after 4 quarters, really looking like this was a pick'em game.
My goodness.
And that's a killer instinct on display as they try to put this one on ice.
And, you know, this is what's needed at this point in the game, Greg. The great teams know how to close it out.
And the Raptors call time here. They trail by 10. 41 seconds left to play in the first overtime. And Wright kicks to Nogueira, uses the glass to finish the layup.
And really just led him to his sweet spot for that finish.
To the paint, here's Hollis Jefferson.
And giving the fans what they came to see, a spirited performance.
Well, they've got to be pleased with the effort they've seen so far tonight. Everybody pitching in for what looks to be a solid W.
Shots good by Ibaka.
Kevin, it certainly hasn't been for lack of effort, but still, his team needs him to do more out there.
Hollis Jefferson can't hit.
And with the time remaining, I'm just not seeing it.
Yeah, it would take a miracle for them to come back in my mind, like Tracy McGrady against the Spurs type of heroics. A lot of points and a little bit of time.
Another one. Man, he's just gotten into a great rhythm out there.
And I tell you what, Greg, once he finds that rhythm, he's hard to guard. Shots come easy for him.
Toronto calls timeout. They're trailing by 4. 8 seconds left in overtime. Guys, what's your take?
And they're going to have to score. Quick foul. Can't waste any time here.
Greg, one possession at a time, and really, as you said, it's all about clock management right now.
Count it! And what a sensational bucket to bring them within 1.
And you can sense things now starting to tighten up. Their offense has become unstoppable.
And Greg, I'm not quite sure why it took them as long as it did to finally get things going, but as we always say, better late than never.
Honestly, just doing what they have to in order to get the basketball back.
That's a good foul, though. I like that. I mean, clock management crucial at this time of the game.
You've got to figure those are the free throws that officially put this game out of reach.
And so it's Brooklyn who scrapes by with the win. They had to scrape and claw to push it to overtime, but they really came on in the extra period.
What a ride. I mean, I thought it might end in regulation, but you know what? They came through big and did exactly what was necessary once we got into OT.
And a chance now to send it over to David Aldridge, standing by courtside. David.
Thank you, guys. Here with Jeremy Lin. Jeremy, were you satisfied with how the team played at both ends tonight?
Tonight there wasn't anything offensively. We moved the ball really, really well. We found the open man. We let their defense dictate which shots we were going to take, and I think defensively is where we really got to shore some things up.
Well, you got to make some adjustments, but at least you got the win. Thanks, Jeremy. Kevin, back to you.
All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. Well, folks, that's going to do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.